as far as people leaving, when you know, somebody sends me a thing and says, I'm leaving. I've decided I'm going my own way. I'm not going to chase them. What incentive would I have to chase them?
Zero.
For what?
Right.
For what? I figure they're a big boy, they make up their mind, and if they want to leave, nobody's chained here. Nobody's forced to be here.
Right.
And then for them to come back with some addle-pated bullshit because they don't have money. I worked with a lot of these people for years on the path, and they never gave a dime.
Right.
Not one freaking red cent.
No.
So if you think that's the qualifier, you can think again. There are a lot of people on the orientation to light that have never given a dime.
Right.
They still have access to everything.
Right.
So that's so much bullshit and nonsense, and I don't know whether you're drinking and drugging again or what the hell is going on, but, you know, I don't deserve this kind of disrespect from you. 100% I don't. I opened my home to you. You came up. You hadn't given a dime. I never asked you for anything. That's such absolutely egregious what you're doing. That's the thanks. It's the thanks. And this is why I don't chase anybody. If you want to leave, leave. If I chase you and say, wait, if you would have said, I'm thinking about leaving, I'd like to talk with you, Guruji, that's one thing. But that's not what happened. You sent a letter that said, in no uncertain terms,
I'm leaving.
I've decided I'm leaving. I'm going my own way. That's a statement. So, okay, I respect that. I respect that. And if I would have said, no, don't leave, then all of a sudden it would have been, you're a cult leader, you're trying to hold me against my will, yada, yada. I can't win for losing. No matter what I do, it's going to be wrong.
And truthfully, when he came here, before he got here, and he didn't know this, you know, you said everything stops, he's coming. All the attention is for him.
Absolutely it did.
And
absolutely
never asked how
I
much
did.
money he gave, nothing. It had nothing to do with it.
No, I've never asked. I didn't know at that time what he had given, what he had not. I do not have anything to do with the finances. I don't know who gives what.
Right.
That's never been a qualifier, and that's one reason I don't know. I don't want to know because I don't want it to be a qualifier for anyone that has never been a part of this path. If you thought I was so fucking money hungry, I'd be charging up the wazoo for everything. I'd be having courses, and you would be paying for every little thing you ever got. But it's never been that way. It's been on the honor system that people give back as they are able, and that's it. You give a donation, nobody's ever given you a qualifying amount that you have to give, ever.
Right.
So this is absolute nonsense. 100% nonsense. What have you given over the course of time? What, maybe a couple $100 altogether, something? Please let me know, because I'd be happy to send it back to you. Because I'm not putting up with this kind of absolute bullshit. And I have no other words to say to it other than it's 100% bullshit.
Sorry.
15 years of my life I put together for the path for people. And this is what you get. This is the gratitude you get.
No, it's absolutely true.
This is it.
100% true. You really said before he came here, all attention is
absolutely
on him.
I did.
And
Before he came, I said, Rohana's coming. You know, whatever you guys are doing, my time and attention is to him for the time he's here because he's made the effort to come down here.
Right.
100%. And this is the way it gets repaid.
And
okay.
You do care about everybody.
I care about everybody.
I see that. I'm vouching for it. It's true.
I still like him as a person. I like him, but this is bullshit.
Right.
This is 100% bullshit.
Right.
I don't know. He stopped the drinking when he came here and stopped the stuff. Maybe he's drinking again. I don't know what the heck's going on.
Right.
But one thing I know that's not going on is all of this drama that these people are running over there to Rick Ross to say it's crap. If I had to live on the donations that come in, it would not even cover my rent. That's the God's honest truth. There is not enough that has ever come in a month's time to even pay for rent or for food. Barely. Maybe there'd be enough to pay for food for a month or something. Maybe. And that might be stretching it. I don't know what's coming in. But this idea that, and they keep running over to Rick Ross and you haven't given your financial things, you haven't, well, you know what? It's bullshit.
They're working their jobs and making their income, and we're supposed to drop what we're doing and go hire accountants and things to...
Let Rick Ross put up his financial statement. I guarantee he's got a hell of a lot more money than me. He was sued, had to pay $2 million. Okay? For what? For kidnapping. For kidnapping, okay? For holding people against their will. He's got things listed on his cult site as to Christian churches, which have nothing to do with cults. Why? Because he's Jewish and he doesn't like anybody that's Christian. He doesn't like any other religion. Bottom line. Somebody tried to convert his mother when she was in a nursing home, and that started his tirade. And he has been on a tirade since. And all you have to do is go in there and say something against any kind of spiritual group, as long as it's not Jewish, and he'll run with it 100%. They don't look for the truth. He doesn't give a rat's ass about the truth. I've been there, I've spoken with them honestly, directly, and what happens? You get mocked, you get ridiculed, you get called a liar, everything you can think of under the sun. They don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. He's a con man. He's been arrested. I mean, really, this is your moral compass? This is where you go? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah.
You can, if you Google it, it's all there.
Oh yeah, you can Google it. You can look at it. You can see a thing on, there's a thing on, if you look up darylthomaswordpress.com, the cult of the deprogrammer Rick Ross. Okay?
Oh, they call him a cult. Okay.
Yeah. Anti-cultism can turn out to be as narrow-minded and dangerous as cultists. Worst of all, it often exasperates the cultic mindset of those they oppose and can worsen situations that are already bad at the outset. Anyway, it's a long thing, and it goes into, about his being an expert. He's not an expert on anything. He's not an expert. He has no background in religious training. Nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. So anyway, like it says Ross has no religious educational credentials whatsoever. And his apparent religious intolerance may be informed by his Jewish upbringing, and he began his cult busting work while working in his grandmother's nursing home. He was also on medications and under psychiatric care. And the psychiatrist does not have good things to say about him. Okay? Ross was seen and evaluated by psychiatrist Dr. Damiano E. Santos of Arizona State Hospital, who found Ross to be an arrogant, self-centered individual with hostile tendencies, who does not seem to profit from his past experiences and cannot realize that what he does is socially unacceptable and dangerous. He does not seem to identify himself with society and its laws and believes that punishments are an injustice. According to the Religious Freedom Watch, the report from Dr. Jerome J. Kay stated that Rick Ross had been under his care from 57 through 71. And in 1965, at the age of 10, Ross was put on the psychiatric drugs Diner and Librium, which he took daily in an attempt to suppress his antisocial behavior. Okay, this is your wonderful knight in shining armor that's going to expose everyone. Okay? It goes on from there as to when he was then made to file bankruptcy because he got a $2 million judgment against him, $2.5 million in punitive damages. Okay, he was found liable. Okay. So anyway, as far as this idea that Rick Ross is this wonderful, upstanding individual, you can think again. He's not.
Right.
He's one of those that likes to stir the fires, just like people like Sarlo. They want, you know, it's supposed to be about gurus, etc. All they do is have a bone to pick with everybody.
Right.
They've got Osho higher than Jesus Christ there.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's
another award-winning gem, you know, when it comes to who they think is valid and who is not. Okay, so these are people with their personal opinions and their agendas are not, you know, to benefit humanity. It's to benefit his pocket. He charges $500 to $600 a day, or $500 to $600 an hour for consultation.
It said his site is for sale, actually, I noticed.
Oh, his site is for sale? I hope to God it's for sale.
Yeah.
I hope to God it's for sale, because I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sued again.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, he's got no religious training, no nothing. All he's got is being hell-bent on stirring up trouble against anyone. It doesn't matter, and like I said, if it had one iota ounce of truth in anything, that would be one thing. But when they go out and they have no interest in the truth whatsoever, and they're demanding this from you and demanding that from you, and they have no right to demand anything.
Right.
I told him I'll put mine up when you put yours up. Do you think he would do it? Hell no, of course not.
No. Actually,
of course not.
We asked him, and he gave a very evasive answer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
He said, and he just said he didn't do what he was asking for in anybody.
Of course not.
No.
Of course not. That's what they do. They want to put everybody on the defensive. That's what they do. They have no interest in the truth. Like I said, I've gone there before, and I answered them honestly, directly about everything. Until he got into stuff that's none of his business. It's not that we are doing something bad or whatever. It's everything is under the law and everything's above board, and very minimal is coming in.
Right.
For God's sakes, people know how many people have been on this path. Even if each one of them, we have what, at one time, 35 people? If each one of them were giving $100 but a month, and I guarantee that never happens.
No, 10, 20.
10,
everybody
yeah,
knows
maybe the 10, 10,
50 from
10, 20. A few have given 50, a few 100. But that's very few and far between.
That's correct.
Very, very few and far between. For the most part, it's very minimal. $15, $10, $20. I mean, you know, really very minimal. And again, this is for everything. This is for the videos, for one-to-one, you know, help, for all the mails being added, everything. There's been no courses. Retreats, when they were held, were just enough to pay for the retreat. That's it.
That's right.
Nothing was made money off of. So for them to act like you're some money-hungry, grubbing person and's got offshore accounts or whatever the hell they think it is, you know, that I'm living the high life. I live in a condo, for God's sakes. I'm not living in a multi-million-dollar mansion. You know, it's like ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. And for the most part, I've lived off of my own income that I have coming in. And it's always been separate from the other stuff for a reason.
That's correct.
So that I could support myself and be able to give back what I can give back. Gee, that's so horrid. That's so heinous. To want to fend for yourself and then give back what you can give back, so that it doesn't matter if people give or they don't give. Gee, what a money-grubbing fool you are. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Then she bought an instrument, she has a Rolex, so, you know.
Oh yeah, I bought an instrument and I have a Rolex. Excuse me for breathing. That I've done something with my money. Has nothing to do with whatever people gave. That goes what people give. It's gone for things like, you know, the computer, for telephone, for things that I need to do to communicate, to do things for this path. It has nothing to do with my own personal stuff. My own personal stuff I have paid for myself.
That's correct.
Okay? Bottom line, like it or not, nobody tells you what to do with your money when you earn it. Don't frickin' tell me what I can do with mine. Thank you very much.
Right.
Maybe I should come and see what you spend your money on.
Oh, no.
And bitch about it. And, well, you know, why aren't you, you know, there's people that are on this path that live in really nice homes, really good jobs. I guarantee they're making a hell of a lot more than I am. And they give a pittance.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Definitely.
I know it 100%.
They expect you to live like a pauper, too.
Well, exactly. If I had to live on what people gave, I couldn't even afford a studio apartment. Not ever. In the whole 15 years I've been doing this, would I even be able to afford a studio apartment. So there you have it. You want the truth of the situation? That's the truth of the situation. Yeah, that's not what you want to hear. You want to hear I've got some big hidden monies somewhere. No, there's no hidden money. Jesus criminy. Unbelievable. And what do they center around? Money, 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 money. Or, oh, we were told we couldn't read this. Do they listen to it? Hell no. They're out reading and chasing everything under the sun and lying about it.
They read it anyway, then they leave the path.
Yeah, then they lead and then they bitch about it when they leave the path. But they've been doing it all along anyway.
Right.
But then all of a sudden you're the bad guy. So let me find another way to make you the bad guy.
We're
You're told not to read other material because you get in confusion. Because they read something else, then they come back with this question, that question, everything under the sun, which they wouldn't be in that confusion if they weren't doing that. And then what I've heard now is they say, well, you better read Ramana, she's going to take that away. I said, if you want to know what this path is and you want to know if it's non-dual or not non-dual, read Ramana. And then judge it. I still say that. So this bullshit that I'm going to say not to read Ramana, it's still absolutely the furthest thing from the truth. When people leave here and they twist things 180 degrees away, and I know why they do it, because they have to make themselves right for leaving, because they know they're in the wrong. People are left because they're about to get outed for stuff they've been doing, things they've been saying that we find out is not true. Then when they got to man up, they leave, and then they're going to put you through the mud because of their lies and their deceits. Fabulous. Fabulous.
And they blame it on you, too. I said it, but it's because you made me say it. It practically looks like that.
Yeah, it's just...
I was forced to say it. I was forced to say how evolved I was. They give that impression.
They were forced to say. Nobody's forced to say anything. People want to line the thing. They want the adulation. So they lie about where they're at and what they're experiencing. Then when they happen to get caught through counseling and you see what's really going on under the surface, you say there's no way you can be in what consciousness you've been telling me you're in. There is no way, because all this drama that's going, that you need the counseling for, would not be there. Guaranteed. Then all of a sudden they're in a huff because they're going to get outed. They're going to lose their big standing. People are not going to be looking up to them anymore, and they leave in a huff. Then all of a sudden it's got to be 180 degrees away from the truth with their dime store threats and stuff. The only reason, that nothing's been put out there, because I'm not that type of person. You want to lie, you want to cheat, you want to do whatever you're doing, do it. Okay? Make yourself happy. Make yourself right. Okay? You're not right. Go ahead. Continue. Try to make yourself right. You know the truth. I know the truth. Okay? Bottom line. And I hope you can live with yourself. But I feel sorry for your family, because 9 out of 10, you're right back into the same place you were in before you got the counseling. Counseling was the greatest thing on the planet. Wanted everybody to have the counseling. Why? Why? Because it actually had done something in your life that was beneficial. And now all of a sudden you leave and it's the worst thing. It's, I'm a con, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, right. Right. All people would have to see is one time what you yourself put out there. I didn't tell you what to put.
Yeah, of course it becomes twisted that I was so influenced to say these things.
No, when the counseling, there's no influence to say anything. People are given a collage, they do the work, I look at it, it gets interpreted, and we go from there. I don't tell them what to put. Nothing. This comes from their own psyche. And this is the way I work. And a lot of stuff gets opened and revealed very rapidly. It's a new way of working. And it has worked quite effectively with a number of people. Okay? Quite effectively. And it can work. It can reach things in a very deep level in a very quick time. As was evidenced. There were changes being made. But 9 out of 10 after leaving and trashing everything and this need to, you know, with what's going on, 9 out of 10 it's right back to where it was. I'm not going to say what it has to do with, because I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Although I am under no obligation to keep anything quiet. I did not sign any non-disclosure agreement with you. Okay? So I could disclose anything I wanted, and there would be absolutely nothing you could do about it. But I'm not that type of a person, no matter how much you want to make it seem that I am.
That's right.
So the only one you're playing games with is yourself. No. You know, people like this, you know, that I went, took time out of my life before, drove to visit this person on my time, my dime. Whenever I was in the area, would stop through in order to give them a chance to come and visit. And this is what you get in return. This is what you get in return.
Right.
Unbelievable. And then they run to Rick Ross saying they've got all this skinny on this and know this and know that. They've never been in my home here. They don't know anything. They think they know. They think they know. And they don't know a thing.
Right. And again, regarding finances, it's the same thing in this case. There was no...
There was not anything given by this person for years.
Right.
I worked with them for years. Not a thing was given until it finally came to the point that, look, you guys need to give back something.
Right.
Something.
Right.
I don't care if it's $1, but something.
Right.
So again, this is absolute nonsense.
There was no consideration about finances. No, didn't know. That had nothing to do with taking care of.
It had nothing to do with it.
It didn't.
I went many times out there on my own dime. These people come scared shitless. I take them in, work with them, get them, you know, get them stabilized, and this is the thanks I get.
Right.
Unbelievable.
It's really sad.
And they wonder why I don't want to answer all the mails, every single one of them any longer. They wonder why. Gee, I don't know why. Because you get guidance. This path was constructed for people that want to get to realization, not for those that are in householder situations that just want to make their lives a little better.
Right.
When I saw, after so many years, that 99.9% of the people do not want realization, then I said, fine, we'll open the other group. Here's the teachings. Here's the books. Here's all the videos. Take whatever you can get from it and enjoy your lives. Do whatever it is you're going to do.
Right.
But my guidance is given, and I'm working, you know, to get people to realization. That was the ultimate goal, to get them to realization. But if that's not what you want, fine. They you know, and they leave, and what's the first thing they do? They violate the first 3 things: honesty, integrity, transparency. Lying through their teeth and skewing everything. It's like, are you not even going to take that much away? And as a person that spends so many years of their life trying to help people to see that people leave and they make that immediate thing just because they need to make themselves right, it is so sad.
Yeah.
It is beyond, it's like having a knife stabbed in your heart and one in your back at the same time.
Right.
Because all you want is the best for these people. Even when they leave and they're so frigging nasty, you still want the best for them.
Right.
And that they don't understand that. They don't understand that. But I'm not going to lay down and be a rug for you to shit on. I'm sorry. Yes, I said that. I'm not going to lay down and be a rug for you to shit on. I'm not your toilet. I am not your toilet. Okay? So that's it. It's all that can be said. It's a very sad day when people leave. But nobody is chained to be here. Nobody's been asked to leave their families. Nobody's been asked to give up anything. Nobody's been asked for any of that. That's what a cult does. A cult says you can't talk to your family members. You're not allowed to do anything. You have to come and live in a little segregated place.
And we were accused of that, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure we were.
For which I responded. I was accused, and I responded that my mother lives 5 minutes away, and my mother adores Swamiji, and she said, quote unquote, I feel like she's my twin. And my sister met Guruji, and my sister said,
I've met your family. Yeah. I've sat with your family. I've met your family. Yeah. So this is just absolute bullshit nonsense. I have never, ever, ever, in fact, people that want to come here and want to run away from their obligations, I tell them, hell no. You've got that obligation and you've got to stay where you're at. You've got to take care of your family. You have to do that. Right. So this idea that we're some kind of a cult leader and we're dragging people away from their families and everything, that is the biggest load of crap I have ever heard. So like I said, you know, if these things had one iota grain of truth to them, that would be one thing. But when people go out and they make up 100% lies, that's another thing. It's another thing entirely.
Right.
It's sad. I feel sorry for them. I pity them that they have to go to those type of lengths to make themselves right. That they're going to lie, they're going to cheat. I just, every time something like this happens, I'm astounded. I'm absolutely astounded.
It is. We see the sincerity there in helping people. We really do. And then to get the kind of response like that, you know, it's like, I'm going to help you, and then, well, drop dead.
Yeah. They take what they can get. They hear one thing they don't like. Then they're going to be the biggest snake in the grass, viper. I mean, unbelievable. Well, like the Bible says, don't cast your pearls before swine, lest they turn and rend you. So if they turn and rend you, I'm sorry, I'm not the one that said it. This is the caliber that they were. And that's a hard thing to have to say. Don't cast your pearls before swine, lest they turn and rend you. It says. Also says those that put their hand to the plow, once they begin and they turn around back, they're not fit for the path. Not fit for it. You got to stick with it. You got to stick with it. It's tough. It's hard. Because this is a path of introspection. You have to do your own work. You have to look within yourself. You have to encounter yourself, and you're going to find things you don't like. But you got to be honest in it. You know, if you're in denial, if you want to play the blame game, you will never make it. You will never make it. It's tough. it's a tough type of thing. You really have to encounter yourself on the deepest level. Okay? That requires sticking with things. And again, it's not always pleasant. You're going to go through really, really hard times. Very difficult experiences. This is not a path where you're feeding fluff to egos. Okay? And that's what a lot of people want. They want somebody there to cater to them and tell them how fabulous they are all the time because they don't believe it themselves. So they want somebody else to tell them how fabulous they are. You know, they don't want to hear the hard-hitting facts, the hard-hitting things. You know? But that's, you know, it's what it takes. It takes sitting with things and going deeper and keep continuing to look and to witness and watch and see what you're doing and what's happening and what's not. You know? I don't know what to tell you. It's a very long journey. You know, it's much easier to be a minister in a Christian church. And you get up every Sunday and you give a nice sermon. Mm-hmm. Very easy. Not a lot of flack you have to take for that. Well, usually, unless you happen to be with Rick Ross crowd. And then you're going to get a lot of flack no matter what you are. Doesn't matter if it's a Pentecostal church. Doesn't matter if it's a Presbyterian. Doesn't matter. According to them, they're all cults. If there's somebody there in that church that does not like you, you are a cult. Bottom line. You know, if you wanted to hear a sermon, I can sit in there and give a sermon.
I believe that.
Well, trust that. You know, I could give very nice sermons. But it's not about believing in something or believe. You got to find out what's the truth at the core of being. That takes pulling away all this collected drama and being willing to go to the heart of it. And that's a very painful and difficult process. Okay? People don't want to do that. They'd rather have some kind of a guru or a belief system that they say, believe in this, believe in that, you know, that they can go run their lives around. Do's and don'ts are rules and regulations, you know, like the Orthodox Jews with a lot of the rules and regulations, which they try to find a way to con and find a loophole in, like they're smarter than God. Here's the rules, here's the regulations, but I'm going to find a way around it because I'm smarter than God. That's brilliant. I like that one. That's one of my personal favorites. They didn't actually mean it because I found a loophole there.
I think their grand rabbi is like a lawyer, they come to him and they try to find the loophole to get him out.
Try to find a loophole around it.
Here's our problem. You know, how do we solve it? It's like we're not allowed to take money from a Jew. Okay, well then you don't take money from him. You lease it to him.
Yeah.
See, and then have it paid by someone else. He gets it and he uses it. But he's not paying you the money.
But he's not paying you the money. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's full of loopholes, which is the biggest, again, egregious thing. If you are really believing that you need to follow all these laws and the rules and regulations, which, of course, they don't follow them all because part of it has to do with stoning. I don't think we've been stoning anybody lately. No. But, you know. But anyway, if you really wanted to follow the whole of the Old Testament, good luck with that, because there are a lot of very harsh things, and but we won't get into that. That's for another day. If you really want to go through the whole Bible or the Old Testament and the whole thing, we could do that. I have no problem with that, but it would take a while. Okay. It would take a while to do that.
Yeah, I guess when they run into those situations, like is on Sabbath, if someone's drowning, unless they're a Jew, you're not allowed to save them because they're not allowed to work on Saturday.
But you can work if it happens to be a Jew.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
You can save them if it's a Jew. If it's not a Jew, you can let them drown.
You can let them drown. That's it. That's it. Such a lovely thing. Such a lovely thing. So anyway, on that note, we're going to close this out. But it's just, come on, people. Grow up. Quit being childish. You know, accept your part in things. You know, do you really need to drag other people through the mud? Do you really need to lie about them to make yourselves right? Is that really what it takes to make yourself right? I'm sorry, but that's one of the saddest things I've ever seen. I understand it. I understand the psychology behind it, that they've got to make here absolutely wrong in order to live with themselves.
And then they're apologizing. Oh, you know, while I was there the whole time, all these years, I presented myself as something that I wasn't, and I'm really sorry if I've hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's happening now with it? You know, I feel pretty hurt from all this stuff, and we're not feeling very happy about this. To have to see these insults getting hurled like this when you offer to help people. So what about that? You know, what about all the hurt that's happening at this moment from all this?
They don't care.
So why did she? You know, why apologize?
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
And to what benefit to go onto a site like that and to try to expose this stuff? For what?
Yeah, what are they exposing? There's nothing to expose. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There is nothing to expose. All they put is a lot of innuendo, a lot of lies, and keep spinning it and hoping somebody else will buy it. And all the disgruntled ones, you know, that were here, like ones that are told, yeah, you know, that, oh yeah, it's so easy, you know, then you go do it. Oh, no, I'm out of here. You know, they always have something. It comes up to some challenge in their life. They're not willing to face it. Then they bail, and then you've got to be the bad guy. Mm-hmm. So they can stay in denial, or their pity party, or whatever it is that they are, you know, hell-bent on doing. Just go do it. Go do it. You know? But again, you know, one of the other things that's the saddest things that I see is people come here and they get out of some bondages and they leave and they go right back to it. Mm-hmm. Whether it's drinking, whether it's, you know, drugs, drinking, whatever it is, while they're here for a time, they get their act cleaned up. And they get grounded, they get centered, they start going forward, and then they throw it away. They throw it away. I don't get it. I don't get it. So anybody watching this video, if you're going to send me a letter that says, I'm leaving, I'm out of here, I'm going to tell you, good luck with that. This is not a cult. I'm not going to chase you. You know, that's what people do. They leave. And then they continue to write you. Mm-hmm. And they go, don't write me. Well, they continue to write here. I've had that one. That one happens too. I mean, it's crazy. So when people want to leave now, fine. Good luck with your life. I wish you well. I wish you all the best for whatever endeavor it is you want to do. But since you want to leave, then of course I'm going to take you off the group sites and take you off the Facebook. Why would you want to have communication with here if you're so dissatisfied? I figure if you want to leave, you're so dissatisfied with here, so fine, I'm going to cut every energetic connection I can cut so you can
Right.
have your life. Go
Right.
have your life. Do whatever it is you're going to do.
Right. And they're not asking for any counsel. They're just
No,
saying,
they're
I
not
want to leave.
asking. They're telling me, if they're telling me point blank, I've decided I'm leaving, I'm doing my own thing, fine, then that's what you've decided. Why would I try to talk you out of it? If you're telling me that's what I have decided. If you said, on the other hand, I'm thinking about it, I'd like to talk with you, but they don't come to me with any kind of concerns, no, nothing. They just say out of the blue, I'm leaving.
Right.
If you're not going to, you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to meet with me, you don't want to discuss it, then fine, you've made up your mind. Who am I to tell you you can't go?
Right. That's good to bring clarity about this.
Yeah, who am I to tell you you can't go? You know, if they do, you shut it and you say that's fine and you shut the door, then all of a sudden it's because I don't have money. If you go after him, then you're a cult leader because you don't want to let him leave. You can't win.
No.
You can't win no matter which way you do it. They will have a bitch and a gripe against it.
And nobody is left. There's been something published. This is the proper protocol for leaving. I don't think anybody's
Nobody has ever followed that. Nobody has ever followed it. I've said, if you want to leave, come to me and tell me that I'm thinking of leaving, you know, and let's look at it and discuss it. Then you can have a month to think about it. Is this really what you want to do? But people don't do that.
Never.
They just say, I'm leaving. Okay, so fine, leave. If you're that unhappy with here, I'm not going to tell you to stay. Why in the world would I? If this is not the place for you, then fine. I'm not the right teacher for everybody.
Right.
Nobody is the right teacher for everybody.
Right.
I figure you're an adult. If you don't want to be here, then fine. You don't want to be here. What more do you want from me? I've given you my time. I've given you my energy. I've given you all the knowledge I have. I've given everything I can give. If you ask for the attention, you get the attention. But if you have no time and energy for things, and out of the blue say you're leaving, well, what do you want me to do with that?
Right.
I figure if you're telling me you're leaving, that you're leaving. Excuse me, all the heck. For actually thinking you're going to be telling me the truth. Because it's supposed to be honesty, integrity, and transparency. So I figure you're supposed to be honest with it. Apparently not.
No.
Apparently you're playing a game with it.
Or thank you so much for your pointings in the following day. It's a con artist and every nasty thing you can think of.
Yeah, exactly.
So
really, in overnight I become a con artist. The day before, thank you for this and thank you for that, and the day after, you're a con artist. You can't have it both ways. Can't have it both ways. You know.
And again, that is so sad that someone helps you like that with sincerity, which I vouch for in so many other of the students on the path, and to leave like that, and then on top of it,
people that live around here know.
Yes.
The rest that are not around here, they haven't spent any time here. Mm-hmm. They don't know what the situation is. Mm-hmm. They run on assumptions. They take things out of context. And that's it. But people that are here know I go out of my way, whether it's to help decorate your place, whether it's help to change your wardrobe so you can, look more professional, whether it's counseling for your business stuff, how to make it better, no matter what aspect it is of life, to make it better for the people that are here.
It's a genuine concern to see the people progress in life.
Absolutely. This is one reason we started the gallery. Because I want to see Suvrat be able to make some money. He needs to make some money, to see you recouping some money, to make this better for you guys. This is why it was started. People don't know why, the ins and outs. It was none of their business why. But yeah, I'm so greeting. It's all about my endeavors now that everybody's supposed to support it.
Sure.
Yeah. Just absolute nonsense. 100% nonsense. So, anyway. On that note, this has been we're almost up to an hour here that we've been talking with this. This is just... But it's such an egregious,
it's horrible,
horrible thing to go through time and time and time and time again.
Yeah, I feel like you're up in age now, and it's your time. It's anyone's time, and when they're up in age, to enjoy and to have not have stress in your life, not to have this kind of thing. This
is why I backed away.
Yeah.
This is exactly why. Because it doesn't matter how much you give. It doesn't matter how much of your lifeblood you're willing to pour out for people. It will never, ever, ever be enough when you've got egos that you're working with. And they're not ready to get off the throne of ego. That it only takes one thing that they don't want to hear. It could be great for 5 years. Then you hit one button, and there will always be some button that gets pushed somewhere. The right button gets pushed, and they will become the nastiest, most vicious people you'd ever seen. And you can't believe that they could be that way. It's absolutely beyond words.
It sometimes reveals
beyond words.
It reveals a total lie.
Well, it reveals that, if they can say these nasty things, then they were not sincere in being here. They had some other agenda. Who knows what the agenda is going on? But I can tell you there were things that my guru has done that I didn't always agree with. Have I ever badmouthed him once?
No.
Never. Never once.
It's true.
I have never badmouthed any of the teachers I have had in my past. And there were a lot of them that I didn't agree with a lot of things they did in the way they taught or what they were doing in their personal lives. But I have never, ever, ever badmouthed any of them.
Correct.
And you don't. If you're genuinely in a spiritual path, and I have had some very difficult experiences in the past, but all of them help you to learn and to move forward. But if you get on this pity party and rant, and you want to drag people through the mud, and you want to lie, and you want to do that to make yourselves right, then really, what kind of spiritual path are they ready for in any way, shape, or form? That's the sad thing. It's sad. Of course, anybody that's coming, you hope they leave and they take something with them, a benefit, and that they use it. And don't throw it to the wind. But when they leave and they trample underfoot, and they want to trample everything underfoot, what's going to stay? If you call light darkness, what's going to stay? Nothing. You don't, that's dangerous ground to be on. You know, dangerous ground to be on. So, you know, good luck with that. Good luck with that. All I can say is it's very painful because I love and cared about all of them that have been here. Even the ones that want to leave and try to drag me through the mud. I understand their pain. I understand the nonsense and the hell realms that they're living in with their mind spin. But it doesn't give them carte blanche to do what they're doing. It does not give carte blanche to do that to any human being, let alone somebody that has
helped them like that.
Attempted to help them in every way they could possible.
Right.
And I know a lot of them. You know who you are, that not only did I attempt to help you, but also members of your family.
Again, I think it's just like she's young, just some young lady, and it's just horrible for her to be doing this to
she knows.
Yeah.
I attempted to help a sister, also counseled the mother and helped the mother. Did I ask for anything from them, for counseling, for helping any of them? No. Nonsense. So go ahead, continue to try to trash me. Go ahead. Make yourself right. So we'll leave it at that. Namaste.